Space Coconut.
Okay, so we have to talk about this. The Oni is strong, and as of right now, he feels really balanced. I don't think he is. I think he's on the too strong side. Loops and vaults and things can counter him, but everything in between, he feels like he's going to overperform, and because of this, he's probably going to get nerfed. And in this video, we're going to talk about the different nerfs that could happen that would tone him back and make him less fun to play, and probably more in line with other killers like the Demogorgon. Now, I know if you like Demogorgon, if you think he's a good killer, this is just my opinion. I don't think Demogorgon is a good killer. There are a few tweaks here and there that he needs to be good, but I mean, if he's fun to play for you, awesome. You know, it's just an opinion. Anyway, so the first and most obvious nerf that is probably incoming is how fast he gains Blood Fury. Now, he only needs to hit 2 full healed survivors to get like 80% of the way filled up. Maybe it's 85, 90. I don't know. And then he just needs to get like maybe 6 or 9 blood orbs to top it off, and then he's good to go. That's really quick. It's really fast. And the strategy here for some survivors is, if they're not going to, if like the plague, their choice is to heal or not heal. If they heal, then they give him a chance to earn quite a bit of that Blood Fury back. If they don't, wherever they're standing still to fix a gen or do whatever, he can go in and gather all the blood orbs anyway. So there's kind of a me there. Survivors are going to be torn between the two. Because of that, Thanatophobia might be really good on him if they choose not to heal. But I'm getting away from this. He only needs to hit 2 fully healed survivors in order to basically turn his thing on. After that, he can down the second survivor, hook them, use barbecue and chili to see everybody else, turn it on, charge, and down the third person. That can happen really quickly. You know, if you know the stars align, it can happen really quickly, and I don't think that's going to stay. They're probably going to lessen the amount of blood that he gains from hitting a fully healed survivor to where it's more like 75%, to where he would need to hit 3 survivors to top it off, or follow the second survivor longer to top off his power. So that's nerf number 1. Nerf number 2 is from his Demon Dash. Now, right now, he doesn't collide with anything. He can kind of just run into the wall and not get stunned, not be interrupted. And I'm not sure if that was intended or if it's a bug, but I feel like that mobility is going to be very limited. In smaller areas, it's going to be harder to deal with, but I mean, you can just walk and use the Demon Strike to down them anyway. I believe that the Oni is going to get a stun when he runs into an obstacle, just like Hillbilly. And if he doesn't, then hit the control that he has. I'm using W and E and the mouse combined to make these sharper turns. That's either a bug and is not intended, or it is intended, and that's definitely going to get changed. His mobility is really, really powerful, and having the control on top of that, and basically being a more mobile Billy, is pretty strong. And so that control is going to get nerfed, or he's going to get stunned when running into objects. The next one, some other things that kind of make him more balanced, and I'm using finger quotes with that, is when he picks up a survivor, he loses his power. It automatically turns off. But I mean, you don't lose all of your bloodlust, and it's bloodlust. You don't lose your blood fury, but it's still super easy to gain it back. So losing it when you pick up a survivor, you still gained a hook. If you downed them with Demon Strike, you downed them in one hit. You know, trading it off isn't that bad, depending on what the other survivors are doing. If they're injured and working on a gen, barbecue and chili, you see them, you don't demon dash, you walk over and you catch the gen. Either it turns on and they leave, or you interrupt it and they don't, but you have this swath of, blood orbs that you can just sit and suck up. And, if they're there for long enough, your power's back online. It's very, very easy and very, very quick to turn it back on. So that downside isn't actually a downside. It's more of an inconvenience, because if you do pick up and hook a survivor, you can't use Demon Dash right away to go on. So anyway, depending on what you decide to do. That's why I think right now the best strategy to use with him is to hit one survivor, let him go, hit the second survivor, and then down that second survivor, go and get their blood, top yourself off, hook them, use barbecue and chili, turn on Blood Fury, Demon Dash to the other ones. I think that's the best, overall strategy to use, at least at the start of the game. Now also, in regards to Demon Dash, at the end of the Demon Dash, he can immediately start running. The stun that he has, the little slowdown that he has there, is negligible. It's not that big of a deal, which is why I think they're going to increase that stun. I think that is a possible nerf that they're going to do. In this regard, Oni is similar to Legion. He can use his power, catch up, and do that sort of thing. Yeah, I think it's one of the easier things to do, because if the Oni is, uses the dash to catch up to a survivor, or get to a gen where they're at, he can get out of Demon Dash and then start chasing them right away. Also, I do have a question. I wonder if he's slower in demon mode. It's hard to tell, and there's no documentation about it. It almost feels like he is. If that's the case, then this probably isn't that big of a deal. His regular movement during Blood Fury being slower, there won't be a nerf with the end of a Demon Dash. But I don't know. During Blood Fury, he kind of feels sluggish. I'm not sure what that's all about. But now that I think about it, that could be a nerf. If he is regular killer movement speed in Blood Fury right now, then that could be another nerf. He could be nerfed down to 110 while in Blood Fury, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Why would you be slower if you're raging? But I don't know. It's an opinion. In addition to all of this, we could also have a passive decay of the blood meter. Right now, you could max it out and then hold it for the entire match, as far as I can tell, and it won't go away. I have a feeling that a decay in the blood meter could probably be implemented, where if you don't consistently gather blood, then it's gonna be a use it or lose it. It'll slowly tick away. So a small decay in the blood meter might be implemented. The last thing that I think would be depending on how he can do a lot during Blood Fury, and either the overall blood meter is going to be reduced overall, so he can do less stuff, or every offensive action that he takes is going to use up more of that meter. So like, breaking things with the club, making attacks, that sort of thing. It didn't look like breaking gens or pallets while in demon mode depleted the meter, so that was kind of nice. But using the strike does. So, yeah, make choices. But I can see them increasing the amount of meter that is used for offensive actions. Now let's talk about his perks. I didn't really pay attention to his add-ons too much. They're very similar to the spirits. They help the power. They don't really change it that much. They kind of enhance it a little bit. I think the detection range for blood orbs, I think that's going to be the one that I like the most, because I like tracking. But anyway, we're going to talk about his perks really quick. Zanshin Tactics is a joke, so it's 100% staying as it is. It's not going to be buffed. It doesn't need to be nerfed, but it's going to stay as it is, like Demogorgon's perks. It's garbage, and it's going to stay like that for a very, very long time. Blood Echo is interesting, but overall, the effect, it doesn't really help a lot. Well, you know what? I can't say that. Blood Echo is going to be good in very specific builds, and the one build that I'm thinking of, and on the killer, is going to be on Anti-Healing Ghost, the ghost that True really likes to use. Blood Echo might be very good on that build. Well, I guess it depends on what you want to replace with it. Blood Echo can be very good on... You know what? Blood Echo is going to be really good on Plague, now that I think about it. Somebody brought that up and I just remembered it. Exhaustion, when you hook a survivor and they refuse to heal, it's gonna be pretty good. Blood Echo is gonna be really good on Plague. Huh. Okay, so these perks kind of obviously have a niche use. So I mean, overall, Blood Echo, it's on Plague. It's gonna be ridiculous. Nemesis. Now, Nemesis is amazing and awful at the same time, but thankfully, okay, so we all know by now that Nemesis and Legion are completely broken. They spent a lot of time and money reworking Legion, and there is no way that they're going to tweak him more after making these changes. Nemesis hasn't been released yet. Nemesis is the thing that's going to change. Now, they're probably going to remove the Oblivious status effect. That's the easiest fix to this perk. Whether or not they replace it with some other status effect, we don't know. Maybe the survivor is going to get exhausted for a period of time. That's the easiest fix. So in regards to Legion, this is broken and needs to be fixed. In regards to other perks, like the last match I played today was with Nemesis and Rancor, and with the amount of times that you get stunned in a match, this swapping is going to be very handy. Now, the interesting thing is that I really like to use Dying Light, and I really like to use Save the Best for Last. Nemesis is going to make it much easier to get all of the Dying Light stacks without having to worry about getting stunned by a survivor. Well, I guess it depends. If they stun you, and then you get hit. And this is where the undetectable would be nice. I mean, wouldn't it be cool? But I don't know. I had a train of thought and I forgot where it was going. But I feel like Nemesis is going to be good. Especially not for its effect when you get stunned, but for the fact that you can pretty easily switch obsessions using this perk. Much easier than it is with Furtive Chase. So you can gain a stack, you can gain stacks from somebody else. After, like, your target stuns you or whatever, you can get some hits on somebody else. I don't know. I guess it's going to depend on how you can take out the survivors in that. Or when you want to take a stun, or when you end up taking a stun. Yeah, Nemesis combined with other obsession perks is going to be very good, I think. Well, I can't say very good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. But I think it might be really good with Dying Light. I think it will be really good with that. As I was editing the footage for this, I realized that swapping between the two isn't going to be as effective as I think it is. There's going to be a very specific playstyle that you're going to need in order to make that work. Because what I saw is, like, at this point in the video, I have 4 stacks of Dying Light and I have 2 people dead, which is kind of stupid, right? I should have more stacks than that. And the reason is because I have, every time I hit a survivor once, I injured them, and then at some point during the chase, they stunned me, I downed them, and I hooked them. And at the time, they were my obsessions, so hooking the obsession doesn't give you a token. So it countered Dying Light. Nemesis countered Dying Light by playing that way. And you saw me kind of look on the ground for survivors. In Blood Fury, it's very hard to hear survivors on the ground. I could never find them. So in order to do this the way I think I want to be able to do it, is I'm going to have to use Deerstalker, Knockout, Dying Light, and Nemesis in order to... So then with that setup, I would hit a survivor, down the survivor, they're my obsession, I go look for somebody else, Knockout and Deerstalker will let the survivors not be able to find them, and let me be able to find them later on, depending, right? I go and I down somebody else who possibly stuns me in the process. Then I go back to the first one that I hooked, or downed, who is no longer the obsession, and then I can hook them, leaving the other on the ground. I think that's the only way that I can do this, which is also kind of a built-in stall tactic because the survivors on the ground with knockout aren't doing gens. So unfortunately, it didn't work out as good as I thought. However, play with your food would be very easy to stack tokens on with him, and remember me, the tokens on that would go up very, very quickly. You just have to maybe not get stunned by another person, or make sure that person dies before they get to the gate, at the very least. So it's tricky. Well, one thing is for sure is that the Oblivious status effect on it is going to be removed, and even if it wasn't, it's not that great. So, back to the video. Yeah, Oblivious, that's going away. 100%. But man, I wish Genshin Tactics was more interesting. It's just basically a training wheels perk for survivors, for new survivors. Yeah, it should have been a general perk. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out with Nemesis, though. I'll be interested to try Nemesis on Hag, though. I'm not sure what I'd swap out with it. Maybe Dying Light, Pop Goes the Weasel, Nemesis. What would be the last one? Huh, yeah, I guess save the best for last. I think that would be my build. I'd give it a shot. It's pretty aggressive. I went on for way too long. So, okay, this is the last talkie video you guys are going to get, and I apologize. I'm getting ready to pack and I'm getting ready to do all this stuff, so I have like 5 or 6 matches that I need to record tomorrow, which is the 21st. So after today, you're going to get a lot of gameplay, and I'm going to do a lot of Hag. I have some fun videos coming up. I had a couple of Survivor videos, Survivor matches that were actually kind of interesting. I had to deplete medkits, so that was a thing. But yeah, look forward to those, and we're going to have a lot of Hag coming up until those. And I should end, the regular gameplay should end on the 1st, because I'll be back on the 30th, and then I'll have time to make a video for the 2nd. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought about these NERF predictions, and let's celebrate together when some of them get implemented, shall we? We'll raise a glass for Oni when he joins the ranks of mid-tier killers, because right now I think he's very good, but there's no way he's going to stay this good. Yeah, let me know. Let me hear your thoughts on that. In the meantime, I'm going to get back to work. In the meantime, I'll see you in the fog.